Do you want to know how you can get rid of your hard-to-trade pets in Adopt Me? If yes, then you are at the right video because in today's video, I'll present to you the top tips that you can use to help trade your hard-to-trade pets super fast and easy in Adopt Me. So, what are hard-to-trade pets? Hard-to-trade pets are also known as HTT pets, and they are pets that people find difficult trading away. This is because these pets are not wanted and people often underpays for them. And therefore, these pets have low demand. So how do you know when a pet is hard to trade? You can use the Adopt Me value website called amvgg.com and check the demand of the pets from there. Here is the demand scale for the website. It starts with the least hard to trade, which is amazing. Then it goes to high, decent, medium, average, then to low. So the low demanded pets are the hard to trade pets. You can check the demand by clicking on the U or the them, so you can see the demand of different pets when you're in the trade calculator. Now that you know what hard to trades are, I will teach you the best tips that you can use to trade them away fast. The first tip that I have is what I call upgrading. There are various ways you can upgrade your pets. So if you have small neons, legendaries, and randoms, then you can trade multiple of them for pets like exotics, small cute or preppy megas, old pets, or even medium demanded neon pets at times. So I do have a few examples of how people trade for these pets, and I think that this works especially well if you have low-valued legendaries, because some people don't know what exotics are, and you can take advantage of that. So you can go for like lower valued exotics like flaming fox, sand dollars, etc. And I did actually trade for a very low value one, which is a castle hermit crab, which is definitely less hard to trade than the randoms and legendaries that you have. And you might be able to find these trades in public servers if you're lucky enough. So I would definitely recommend you guys to not be afraid and ask if you could offer for those type of exotic pets, and you might be able to be lucky enough to get one of these trades. If you have multiple neon legendaries or mega pets, then I would also recommend upgrading, because these pets are usually a bit harder to trade when compared to other pets. So when I have a bunch of these hard to trade pets with good value, then I usually group them to go for some better demanded pets. But don't aim for pets that have insane demand, like the cow or the turtle, because people with those pets usually look for overpay offers. You shouldn't trade preppy people who only accept exotic megas either, since it is unlikely that they will accept these hard to trade pets. Therefore, I usually go for pets like neon kangaroo, arctic reindeer, mega unicorn, or better neon legendaries, because these pets are not as high demanded, but they are also able to pull really good offers. And therefore, this is why I think that this tip is super useful to help grow your inventory if you have hard to trade pets. And the next tip that I have is called mixing. So what this means is that you mix in low demanded pets with high demanded pets in your offer in order to upgrade for other high demanded pets. I learned this tip from one of Eklaw's video where he talked about hard to trade pets, and I think that this is super helpful because it helps you unload a lot of the low demanded pets in your inventory, and you have more opportunities to trade for overpays when you get high demanded pets. So you usually have like 1 to 2 main components in your offer that is high demanded. And an example that I have is when I traded my neon albino monkey and a lot of hard to trade pets for an evil unicorn. The reason why this method is great is because you are more likely to get an overpay with a high demanded pet than to get a fair offer with low demanded pets. Sometimes you can even sneak in low-demanded and low-valued pets as your ads in trades, like an example over here. So you should definitely try to mix in your low-demand pets with high-demanded pets in your trades. The third tip that I have is called downgrading. I know I just said that upgrading is great, but sometimes you have to downgrade as well because it depends on the scenario. This tip is mainly for people who struggles to trade their mega legendaries or low demanded mega exotics, because I do know that these high valued pairs might be quite hard to trade at times. So you can downgrade these pairs by trading them for low megas or decent neon legendaries that has better demand than your mega legendary. An example is here on the screen where one of my friends did this trade for their mega meow. Even though this is a downgrade, the Neon T-Rex and Neon Swan are less hard to trade than the Mecha Meow. I'm kind of struggling when I say this, but this is a great trade because of the demand. So that's why it kind of depends on what pets you have, and you might have to downgrade your pets at times. The fourth tip that I have is called puppet trading. I actually just did a puppet trade, so I'm going to show you what it is. So firstly, I traded my Flyride Strawberry Short-Tick Bat Dragon, Neon Dragon, and the Neon Primal Kai Jr. for this Flyride cow over here. So the Flyride Strawberry Short-Tick Bat Dragon has amazing demand, and I added in 2 low demanded pairs, and that is the reason why I did this trade. It is because I wanted to get rid of the hard to trade pairs in my inventory, and then attempt to get back the high demand pairs to get ads that are much better in demand. This is sort of similar to the second tip that I gave, which is the mixing tip. But in this case, you are going to get back your high demanded pet, which in my case is the Strawberry Short-Tick Bat Dragon, and then you're going to get ads that are better demanded. So what I did was I traded the Flyride cow back for the Flyride SSBD, and then I got the ad, which is 6 of the white potions and also a polar bear. You simply cannot trade those neon legendaries for 6 white potions and a polar bear because they are better in value. But since high demanded pets can get good overpays, sometimes you can trade your high demand for other high demand with really good ads that are not hard to trade. So that is what happened in my case, and I think that I did a pretty good trade. And I was also able to get the SSBD back, which is great. You can do this with other pets as well, like you can trade your parrots and good ads for an owl, and then trade the owl for parrots and ads. The last tip that I have is kind of like a last resort, I guess, but this is when you have to overpay with your hard to trade pets. If you are really struggling and you want to get rid of your hard to trade pairs fast, then I guess your last choice or option is to trade by overpaying. But you can also be a smart trader when you overpay, because you should definitely not overpay for other hard to trade pairs, like how you trade maybe a Mega Coconut Friend for a Mega Dracula Parrot, because the Mega Dracula Parrot is just more hard to trade. What you should do is to overpay for medium or high demanded pets. But honestly, I don't want you guys to use this tip, because the first 4 tips should be pretty useful and can help you get rid of your hard to trades quite quickly. I hope that these tips are helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and also share the video to your friends if this was helpful for you. And I hope to see you in my next video. See ya!